Yo, Hendo here with Average Use Slow-Pitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out the brand new DeMarini Stadium. This is an APC barrel, 13-inch, 1-ounce end load with the stiff composite handle that DeMarini's been using on most of their APCs. Today we're swinging a 27. We're out here at this new field that is built out here in Las Cruces. Finally one that we're able to kind of get consistent reservations on. Nice part is, under the lights out here, we actually have pretty good weather. The only thing we have to worry about right now in New Mexico is really wind. And somehow we got basically no wind tonight. We're looking at, hopefully you can see that. Very little bit, which is nice. That's been our biggest issue to worry about here lately. In windy season, we get like 40, 50 mile per hour gusts. And right now it's beautiful, but we just looked. It's currently 58 degrees. Bats, balls, everything was indoors. We're going to go over to 52s like we always do. Then we'll swap over to the Pro M's, 44 375s. Then we'll come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where the new DeMarini Stadium test at. Again, these are all those APC composites again this year. DeMarini's pretty much gone away from the Nautilite tech, kind of pushed into, like a lot of companies, that game-ready kind of technology there. And either way, still dead on 275. So we'll go ahead, 52s, Pro M's, come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, we got the brand new, what DeMarini's calling 2026 DeMarini Stadium. Obviously, I know it's 25, but DeMarini's always a year ahead on their, basically the year they put on the bat model. But that being said, 13-inch barrel, 1-ounce end load. They've got their stiff composite handle. Today we're swinging a 27. Obviously, we're going to start with the 52s now, and then we'll hop over to Pro M's. Here at this new field they just built, we're still not 100% convinced all these maps are right, but Google Maps, Onyx, if you don't know what that is, it's like a hunting app. Both show these fences at 370 all the way around. Seems wild they would build it that way. The field does feel big. At some point, I'll get a little wheel out and we'll full up measure it. But 370, it's currently 58 degrees out. We got here about 60, but it won't get any lower than about 54 today, so we're not too worried about that piece. Bat, balls, everything was inside, so we're not worried about bats breaking or anything like that. Let's see how this thing performs, and then we'll swap over to some Pro M's.
102 miles per hour.
Well, it's a DeMarini, and it still hits 52 as well.
85 miles per hour.
Okay.
92 miles per hour.
Watch it.
91 miles per hour.
Yes, well, that went out crazy. But through the first couple swings, I will say, it feels, so with it being the same barrel length as like the Yates, obviously half an ounce heavier end load, but it feels a little bit stiffer than the Yates. They have the same handle, same barrel, all that kind of stuff. Only thing different should be the end load. But the 52s obviously come off it really well. We've talked about this in the past. The stiffer barrels typically perform better with 52s anyways. So as you lower compression, and we saw this last year with like Yates is bad, at least I did, as I got near that 250 and was real game ready for USSSA, at times 52s would feel a little soft. So if you are going to use this for 52s, softer type balls, try not to break the break it in too much and lower that compression. But so far feels pretty good. And I will say it might feel slightly heavier than the Yates. I know the Yates said 27.5, this is 27 sticker, but with being a 1-ounce end load, I would say it feels pretty close to that. So you can go with your normal kind of weight, but if you want that real heavy extra end load, if they drop this in 28, you may want to go up an ounce, but I think it's close enough that you won't really be too concerned with it.
What he said.
75 miles per hour.
Yeah, it feels like it may need initial more swings than most of the APC barrels that we swung recently. But yeah, exactly. We'll see how it goes here.
94 miles per hour. 104 miles
That's
per
the
hour.
sweet spot. Whoo, that ball was touched off that sidewalk out there. Yeah, this feels real good with 52s. We've always expected that. I think Louisville's still, in our opinion, kind of the top. Usually they bat the last few years for 52s, but DeMarini's been real close. I was always a little worried when they went away from the Nautilized because those were really good. But the APCs have been pretty much just as good off of the 52s.
74 miles per hour.
So guys, initial thoughts. When it comes to the 52s, it seems to me like there's a little bit more stiffness than the APCs we've swung with the other 52s, like the VG, the Twisted. But that's not a knock. Maybe it's just initial thoughts. We'll see how it opens up with other swings going into the Pro M's, but still easy to find the barrel. It's a nice big 13-inch barrel, easy to find it, easy to control. But initial thoughts, it feels a little bit stiffer initially, but we'll see how it opens up with some swings.
94 miles per hour. 104 miles per hour.
Oh boy, all right. That's plenty of 52s, as you saw there. Performs great with the 52s. We do have a little bit of webbing from it, but we've seen that with kind of the glossier paint, especially on the APCs. Has never really mattered. We'll see if this year they get that little, known as the DeMarini seam. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, a lot of times at some point, you'll get a small little seam that's like diagonal. Nothing to worry about there, but when you get that, Jason Magnum talked about this last year, hit the bat on the other side. It means it's definitely game ready. With the Nautilus, it would take a lot of swings. With the APCs, doesn't usually take as long to get there. We'll top over to the Pro-Ms now, see how it performs. All right, going over to the Pro-Ms here. Obviously, we're on the field right next to our other field. Had some reservation issues there, whatnot, so whatever. Either way, 68 degrees out right now. We're going with Razos, Gold Dots, ZNs, and Super Dupers, all the USSSA stamp 44 375s, no hardcore stadiums, mortars, onyx, anything like that. So pretty kind of just average USSSA balls.
110 miles per hour. 92 miles per hour. 110 miles per hour.
It's got really good feedback off the sweet spot, because that had to have been sweet spot there.
89 miles per hour. 111 miles per hour.
Yeah, sweet spot's pretty good.
94 miles per hour. 93 miles per hour.
Yeah, it carries off this pretty good. I don't know if you can see in the dark because it's not very lit up out there, but about 3/4 way up that hill. I will say, even though we got a 1 ounce end load here, 13-inch barrel, to me on this 27, it feels almost identical, if not a little bit lighter than like the Yates, which I know it's a 27-ounce sticker, but it's a 1/2 ounce end load. We'll see what the scale weight does for us here. Obviously the Yates and the Gorilla came in a little bit light on the scale for us, but either way, still feels good. I still go with your normal weight. But again, for somebody who likes the real heavy feel, and again, I don't know if they're gonna make this in a 28 or not, but you would wanna probably go up an ounce if you want that extra heavy 1 ounce feel.
97 miles per hour.
All you had to do is get on your tippy toes.
107 miles per hour.
Hey, that land on the street? We reached the street.
87 miles per hour. 109 miles per hour.
Whoo! It's got a pretty good size sweet spot, to be honest. Feels real easy to find. Again, it's very responsive off the sweet spot. When you miss a little high or low of it, you do get a little bit of ring in the hands, which makes sense with DeMarini stiffer handle, but so far, all we've really got is webbing on this thing, which is to be expected for the DeMarinis. It's been that way ever since they went to APC in 25, in 24 on the 25 models. But either way, feels pretty good. We'll get a few more, and then we'll get back to the house and test this thing.
92 miles per hour.
2 more.
Good bat all around, honestly. Was it Stadium? DeMarini, solid. Like the feel. Got a couple good swings. Touched 100 for the first time, so can't complain.
Hell yeah, brother. 100 miles an hour.
114 miles per hour.
Seems like a good spot to stop there, but again, DeMarini Stadium, 13-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. Feels really good. Again, the APC barrels are nothing like the Nautilus. If you're not really familiar with the two, Nautilus was meant to start like 300 to 325 compression. Need a whole lot of swings. The purple Gorilla was one of my favorites, but it took us about 400 swings till it truly opened up. You get the DeMarini seam and you kind of knew it was gas. If you look at a video last year I did with Jason Magnum, he talks about the whole piece of it. With the APCs, they are more of a game ready tech. So if you're gonna BP them, you don't have 52s, I would treat them with like 75% swings, rotate the barrel for about 20, 30, 40 swings, open it up, then give yourself about 20, 30 good swings and put it away and game it. It'll last you for a long time. But let's get back to the house. We'll put this on the tester, see where test at, and then final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where the DeMarini Stadium's final compression's at. We're sitting at just over 100 total swings, probably about 30-ish with 52s, and then another 60 to 70 or so with Pro-Ms. Let that sit on 0. Ooh, and we're sitting real low on that one, 220. Let's go ahead, quarter turn, see where that's at, and then I'll throw the calibration disc on, make sure we don't have anything kind of weird going on here with this one. But we've got it there, not touching any walls. Let that sit at 0. And yeah, 220. So let's go ahead real quick. I don't think we've had many 2025s fail so far, so we haven't had to do this much. But for those that haven't seen it, this calibration disc is 350 plus or minus 25. So we're just going to throw that on here, make sure everything's good to go with the tester, and that it's not a tester issue. Okay, just like we would, dial that up to 0. Boom. And we're sitting dead on 350. So no issues there with the tester. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the final thoughts. Let's see where our 27-ounce DeMarini Stadium is scaling at. And this one's coming at 26.21. So we are 0.79 ounces under sticker weight. So just kind of keep that piece in mind. And that goes back to, I think, what I mentioned when we were swinging it, which is it felt a little bit light. And if you like that real heavy feel, you're definitely going to want to go up a size on that one. So just keep that in mind, and we'll talk about it a little more in the final thoughts. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the 2026 DeMarini Stadium. Again, a 1-ounce end load, 13-inch barrel. They've got their stiff composite handle, and we were swinging a 27-ounce. As you kind of saw there as well, we got the 52s knocked out last Thursday night. We had the lights shut off on us early, so we didn't get to finish that. That was a whole kind of mess. Then we went out last night, Tuesday. We swung it, was planning on having this whole outro, all that stuff done there as well. Sure enough, who would have thought? Lights turned off about 30 minutes early again. We actually ended up having to use my truck, drive all around the field, shine lights, try to find all the balls. But either way, we're here now. Just knocked out, obviously, the final compression piece. And for the final thoughts, what you kind of saw there with this one is, just like we've talked about the APCs, these are very much the most game-ready bats I've kind of seen from DeMarini. Obviously, last year they had the APCs from the Gorilla, the Yates, Lady S&I, things like that. A couple other Yates, Twisted Mistresses, Gorillas later on. Those ones needed a little bit of swings. I thought they needed like 50, 60 swings to kind of open them up. On these ones so far, I feel like as soon as the 52s were done, I mean, one, the 52s already felt great, but once the 52s were done and we put a couple Pro-Ms, 3-4 swings in, I was like, cool, I'd be ready to game this type of thing. So regardless if you own 52s or you don't, I would still, even if you have Pro-Ms, go out 20, 30 swings, get comfortable with the bat, put it away, and I think you'll have no issues with it passing for you for a while as far as like being a gamer goes. These aren't your old Nautilus techs for people who maybe haven't been around DeMarini here in a while. So these are not meant for a whole bunch of BP. They're not meant for the 200, 300, 400 swings to really opening them up. You're not looking to BP it until you get kind of the DeMarini scene, which Jason Magnum's talked about in the past. But again, really good feel. Feedback's pretty good on this one. Even with the longer barrel, you get a really nice crisp feel off of the sweet spot. The further, obviously, you get away from the sweet spot, the forgiveness with the stiffer handle gets a little misleading at times, but the nice part is the ball still comes off well and it seemed to perform really well. So obviously the one negative for us was kind of the compression piece. I know for me, I really care about compression. I honestly get tested at probably 90% of the tournaments I go to, other than the occasional kind of off-season one. If you're somebody who doesn't get tested, probably won't be a concern. Also, I wouldn't put nearly as many swings as we did on this. If you're breaking in either, I'd go out there, like I said, 20, 30 swings, put in your bag, and I think you'll be fine for a while. Other than that, though, we just have kind of the standard webbing in there. Really no other big issues. Now that I'm looking, we do have a very small, I don't even know if you'll be able to see this, but this is what I was talking about for the people who aren't familiar, hopefully you can see the little DeMarini seam that I was talking about right there. So that right there is what you used to want to basically hit your Nautilus barrels until you got that. And then Jason Mann will tell you, cool, that's when you know your bat's ready, flip it over, hit the other side, and it's gas. With these ones, if you get that, the bat's still going to be fine. It'll still perform. I had a culture last year that I think I played 4 or 5 tournaments with that had the DeMarini seam in it. And honestly, when the season was over, somebody bought it off me anyways and wanted it. So gave it to them. But when you get that DeMarini seam, one, if you're still BPing it, stop. And then if you're gaming it, just work on hit the other side. You won't separate it. It should last you for a while. But either way, this drops on March 5th over on headbangersports.com and on DeMarini's website. I don't have a code for you for DeMarini, but you can use code ADS on Headbanger Sports to grab this at a discount. If they sell out over there and you're still looking for one, reach out to us. I'll do my best to see if I can't find you a code for DeMarini or some way to get you kind of a cheaper price than obviously kind of the retail piece there, expedite shipping, whatever it is you may need. If you want to see the rankings on this one and any other bats, AverageUSlowpitch.com is your spot for that. It's got USSSA rankings, ASA rankings for both 2025 and 2024. We put a quick reference guide up here for 25 as well, so I'm able to drop the rankings for each bat as the video is dropping as well. So at least you can kind of see the baseline details on all the different bats where we ranked them. And then within about a week or so of each review, you'll see a full breakdown, which right now it's slightly delayed just with all the bats dropping. Haven't had time to write out that whole breakdown piece, but that will be there for you. But either way, hope that kind of helped you make a decision on if you want to grab this DeMarini model, one of the other DeMarini models here come March 5th, or maybe you just kind of want to go a different route for your season here in 2025. But either way, appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Have a great day.